Well, now that I've seen all the Maze Runner movies, it is time to be a responsible movie review YouTuber and rank them all. What are your rankings of the 3 Maze Runner movies? Let me know in the comments. Welcome to Durbania, I'm Durbin, and this is my ranking of all the Maze Runner movies from worst to best. I'm excited to rank these movies, but I'm also excited to see how you would rank these 3 movies in the comments, because I'm sure your ranking is going to be totally different than mine, which is going to be awesome because that's just going to spur some great movie discussion, and I cannot wait to have these conversations with you. So in the comments, rank these movies. Let's get into mine. Number 3, Maze Runner: The Death Cure. Yeah, the third and final movie, that's the one that has fallen in my least favorite position, or my worst position. Now, that doesn't mean I hate this movie. In fact, I didn't hate this movie, but I think the reason that this one falls into this position for me is because when I went and saw the first 2 Maze Runner movies, we were at the height of the YA post-apocalyptic genre of films with Hunger Games and Divergent. And so when I went and saw the first 2 Maze Runner movies, I got things I didn't expect from them, and I found myself enjoying them more than I expected. In other words, there were little surprises in there that separated them from the other movies in this genre that I really enjoyed. When we got to this third and final chapter, I just didn't feel like there were really any surprises. And in fact, my wife Laura and I, at the very beginning of this movie, we were calling things that were going to happen at the end. Some things we were kind of wrong about, but still technically right about. Few things we didn't predict, but overall the movie was kind of predictable. It just, some of it felt a little long, but it really wasn't that long of a movie. But getting past those negatives, because there were those negatives, and what puts it here in my least favorite position is just the fact that I felt like nothing in this third movie really jumped out and surprised me. But other than that, some of the positives, I thought the action was really good. I mean, it was an overall pretty decent finale and not a bad way to close out this trilogy, though I feel like some part of me would have wanted a little bit more closure than I got at the ending. But nevertheless, like, overall, great action, and I loved the characters, and so they kept that going really well. So there was a lot of things that I really liked, and there were some pretty good moments in this movie. So, I mean, overall, I liked this movie, and I definitely would have enjoyed it as like a Netflix original movie over seeing it on the big screen. But it's just, you know, of this entire trilogy, not my most favorite. Number 2, The Maze Runner. Yeah, the first movie falls into my number 2 position because it did have a lot of things that stood out to me and separated it from the Hunger Games and Divergent and those post-apocalyptic YA movies that were coming out at this time. But it also, in some ways, just fell into that pattern. You know, the way they're living in the glade, and it's that post-apocalyptic society trying to live together while this big, huge government-type entity like Wicked is experimenting on them and things like that. I mean, there were a lot of different things where it just seemed to sort of fall into the same pattern as those other movies. Not that it's a bad pattern, but when you see it repeated over and over and over, it's like, okay, can we try something a little different? But that's something that I liked about The Maze Runner, because what was really fun for me about Maze Runner 1 and what really stood out to me was the action. Like when Thomas started to become a maze runner and he was running in that maze and he's running in there with Mino, they're trying to map out the maze, they fight that monster in there, like all the stuff that they go through. I just found the action to be really, really intense. The other thing that really surprised me about the Maze Runner was how much I got attached to all the characters. I mean, even Gally, as much as I thought that guy was a jerk and I wanted to punch him in the eye, like, I don't know. He was a character I loved to hate. And so, like, all the characters I just really liked. I got into where they were, and I wanted them to get out. And I was glad Thomas was there to try to help them out. And who among us did not shed a tear when Chuck died? I mean, I didn't shed a tear, but I did feel some emotion when Chuck died, because Chuck was an awesome character, and Chuck did not deserve to die. He was a cool kid. He had that little statue. He's going to find his mom and dad. He's going to give it to them. I mean, he's never going to find them realistically, so that would have been a tragedy unto itself. Oh my gosh. This kid's story is tragic no matter what. But either way, I mean, what a horrible way for the kid to die. And then handing over his little statue soaked in his blood. That ticked me off. Anyway, things like that, how I got attached to those characters and how mad I got when Chuck died, like, those were pleasant surprises to me, how much I got sucked into that. So I really enjoyed the characters and I enjoyed the action of the first movie. Number 1, Maze Runner: The Scorch Trials. This one is my favorite because while they talked about the flare, this disease causing this madness in mankind, for whatever reason, I didn't pick up on the signals that it was zombies. And it's so funny because I guess I didn't pay a ton of attention to the trailers. I guess I didn't. Because the moment I sit there on the big screen and I see zombies chasing them, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so freaking awesome! Like, I mean, the whole idea of them running from zombies, throwing in the element of who got bit? How long does it take for them to, like, get infected and become zombies? Like, to me, that was so brilliant. I got annoyed at little things like the, you know, post-apocalyptic YA genre names they had for things. You can't call a zombie what it is. It's a zombie, people. We know it's a zombie. No, we gotta call them cranks. Yeah, I don't know why little things like that drive me nuts, because they're so little, but whatever. The point is, getting past all of that, I had so much fun with them being chased by zombies. It just made the action so fun for me. The fact that I wasn't paying attention to trailers and stuff before going into this, and the whole zombie plot took me by surprise. This is why I don't like movies being spoiled for me, and this is why I don't like trailers showing as much as they show nowadays. By my lack of attention to the detail of the trailers, I went into this movie going, oh my gosh, it's zombies! That's so awesome! And I think that sheer surprise element for me of them being chased by zombies just elevated that to my #1 position. And even when I was rewatching these movies before going to see the third one, watching the Scorch Trials again, watching the zombies again, both my wife Laura and we were both so surprised the first time we saw this movie by the whole zombie thing. We were reliving the fun we had when we saw that on the big screen with the zombies and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. There's something about the zombies and possibly Alan Tudyk. The fact that Alan Tudyk is in this even for 5 minutes is just awesome.
I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar.
But anyway, something about the zombies just makes it incredible. So there it is. That's my ranking of these movies. How would you rank this trilogy? Be sure to let me know in the comments. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That way you're going to be notified the moment I drop another ranking video, a theological analysis, a movie review, a trailer reaction, and all the other awesome things that I do here. I'd love to have you come check all of that out and be a part of that. I mean, coming out here on Friday, I'm dropping my next comic book review for Batman Earth 1 Volume 2. So excited to dive into that. Saturday, gonna be diving deep into Justice League Dark. Great animated movie, doing a theological analysis. So hit that bell so you're notified when that stuff drops. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.